Good evening and welcome to Primetime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Bernadine Singha.
And I'm Charlene Benedict. Let's start off with a look at the stories that made it to your headlines tonight.
Committee report reveals that 60 MPs violated their powers and privileges during the brawl in Parliament. Police investigations to continue.
මේ සිදුවුනේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු සභා ගර්භය තුල පොලිසියෙන් පරීක්ෂණ පැවැත්වීම අපි දන්නේ සුදුසු නැහැ කියලායි.
CID වෙන්නේ පොලිසිය ගහපු සම්බන්ධයෙන් පහර දීම් සම්බන්ධයෙන් වෙනම පරීක්ෂණයක් ඒගොල්ලෝ කරනවා. ඒක මටයි දෙයක් නෙමෙයි.
Missing businessmen in Rathgama have been murdered and burnt. Kiriyalla's committee records a statement from Ranjan Ramanayaka on MPs who get high.
වැඩි කට්ටියක් ඉන්නේ පොහොට්ටුවේ. විමල් වීරවංශ මහත්මයාගේ පක්ෂයේ දෙදෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ ඉන්නවා 10ට වැඩි ඉන්නවා. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ 3 දෙනෙක් 4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා.
Drugs valued at 100 million rupees discovered in Negombo.
The committee appointed to probe the brawl, which broke out in Parliament on the 14th, 15th and 16th of November last year, in its recommendation says 60 MPs have committed offences that are punishable under the Powers and Privilege Act of Parliament. The committee says actions must be taken against MPs in questioned under Standing Order 77, which contains provisions to suspend the MP from the service of Parliament between 2 to 4 weeks.
As per the committee report chaired by Deputy Speaker Ananda Kumarasiri, out of the total number of parliamentarians in question, 55 MPs represent the UPFA. 4 MPs represent the UNP and 1 member is from the JVP. The JVP MP is Vijita Herath. The UNP MPs are Palita Tevara Peruma, Ranjan Ramanayaka, Chandima Gamage and Tushara Indunil Amarasena. The 55 UPFA MPs are S.V. Disanayaka, Ananda Alupgamage, Prasanna Ranavira, Piyal Nishanta, Padma Udayashanta, Dilan Pereira, Dinesh Gunawardana, Lohan Ratwate, Jayanta Samravira, Rohita Abe Gunawardana, Tilanga Sumutipala, Johnston Fernando, Dilum Amunugama, Indika Anuruddha, Sisira Jaikodi, Kanchana Vijayasekara, Piyankara Jayaratna, Susanta Punchinilame, Pavitra Vanyarachi, Mahinda Nanda Alupgamage, Ranjit Zoisa, S.M. Chandosena, D.V. Chanaka, Arundika Fernando, Dallas Alahapirma, Vimala Veera Disanayaka, Shehan Semasingha, Tenuka Vidana Gamage, Anuradha Jayaratna, Sarati Dushmanta, Sanat Nishanta, Kanaka Herath, Udaya Gammanpila, Taranath Basnayaka, Vimal Veerawangsha, Nimal Lanza, Sudarshani Fernanda Pulle, Janaka Bandara Tennakon, Ramesh Patirana, Vijita Berugada, Mohan De Silva, Roshan Ranasingha, Nishanta Mutuhettigama, Premalal Jayasekara, Dulip Vijayasekara, Vasudeva Nanayakara, C.B. Watnayaka, T.B. Ekanayaka, Lakshman Yapa Abevardhana, Taraka Balasuriya, Lakshman Vasanta Pereira, Janaka Wakkumra, Bandula Gunawardhana, S. Premaratna and Salinda Disanayaka. The report says MP Palita Tevara Peruma was in possession of an item similar to a knife, while MP Ranjan Ramanayaka had pulled out a similar object from his pants. The committee says the CID must expedite its independent investigations and proceed to institute legal action based on the advice provided by the Attorney General. The committee was led by Deputy Speaker Ananda Kumarasiri, and the members were Chamal Rajapaksa, Ranjit Madhuma Bandara, Mave Senadiraja, Chandosiri Gajadeva and Bimal Watnayaka. Chamal Rajapaksa notably did not attend any of the committee sessions.
After an in-depth analysis of the CID's investigation report, along with the assistance of several representatives from the Attorney General's Department, this report has identified and revealed the names of several MPs who have brought disgrace to the Parliament by their involvement in this matter.
In the
past, MP Vasudeva Nanayakara was assaulted in the Parliament chamber and even sustained injuries. However, these matters were not taken to the judiciary or even the police. We seek the services of the CID with regard to the assault carried out on the police last November. They are conducting a separate investigation into such assaults. This matter does not come under my purview.
The two MPs from the opposition had lodged a complaint against me with the police as well. Investigations were conducted in this regard, and I even recorded a statement with the CID.
පොලිසියට කම්ප්ලේන්ට් කළා. ඉතින් අනු පරීක්ෂණ කළා මමත් ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකක් දුන්නා. නියෝජක නායකතුමායි
A blood or urine sample must be obtained from the MPs whose names are included in the Deputy Speaker's report. When we consider the manner in which they behaved the other day, it seems that they were under the influence of something.
ඒ ඔබ මතා කතා කළේ මේ තමන්ගේ වාහනේ
නෑ ඔබතුමා කතා කරන්නේ
වෙන වාහනයක ගියොත් රියදුරාට පහර දෙන මන්ත්‍රීතුමා මේ අපේ වරප්‍රසාද.
We must consider the Powers and Privileges Act of Parliament. These matters must be discussed within this framework.
ඒ තුල ඉඳගෙන අපි මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ
ඒක තමයි මම කිව්වේ මම වරප්‍රසාද කමිටුවට යොමු කරනවා.
මේ සිද්ධි සිදු වුණේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ.
This incident took place within the Parliament chamber. I believe that it is not appropriate for the police to investigate this matter.
සභා ගර්භය තුල පොලිසියෙන් පරීක්ෂණ පැවැත්වීම අපි දන්නේ සුදුසු නැහැ කියලායි.
නා වරප්‍රසාද වලට
We are held accountable by the people. We cannot let anyone dance to their own tune by restricting ourselves to the Privileges Act.
ආවෙලා මේකේ ඕන විදිහට පිටුම් ගහන්න දෙන්න බෑ. මේකේ රටේ ජනතාවට ඔක කියන්න ඕනේ. දැන් එදා අර
Instead of chili powder, if acid was thrown at the police officers and MPs Jaya Vikrama and Vijay Herath, they would have gone blind.
රටේ නීතිය තමයි උත්තරීතර.
The law of the land is supreme. Powers vested in the Privileges Act of Parliament cannot suppress the law of our country. For instance, if someone is killed or if a crime is committed in Parliament, could we consider it as a privilege?
කවුරුහරි මැරුණා කියන්න පුළුවන් වරප්‍රසාද කියලා.
අපි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ තුලම එක
We will arrive at a decision by conducting investigations within the Parliament itself. However, in the context of the Parliament brawl that took place last November, if a police officer was killed or sustained serious injuries, the Speaker would not claim responsibility. Therefore, if a police investigation is conducted, we cannot interfere. And the Prime Minister too has accepted this fact. These two reports are different from each other.
Now, a committee appointed by the United National Party summoned State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake today to inquire into his allegations that a group of MPs use narcotic substances.
This committee, which was appointed recently, is headed by Leader of the House Minister Lakshman Kiriyella and includes State Minister Eran Vikramaratne, Nisanka Nanayakara and Professor Ashu Marasinghe. The committee questioned State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake inside the parliamentary complex today.
වාර්තාව ගරු අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමාට බාර දෙනවා මේක එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂය අභ්‍යන්තර වැඩක්. ලිඛිතව මොකද දුන්නේ නැද්ද? ඒක සටහන් කරගත්තා. නාම ලේඛනයක් බාර දුන්නා. ඒක කියන්න බෑ. අපිට දුන්න ප්‍රකාශයම රංජන් රාමනායක ගරු මන්ත්‍රීතුමා CID එකට ලබා දීලා තියෙනවා.
අද 4 දිනකින්
I was subject to a disciplinary inquiry by a committee comprising of 4 members. An article published in the newspaper states that my statement cannot be accepted as I am an actor and performer by profession. This claim is made by the former Minister of Law and Order Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, who is also a double doctorate holder. I had stated that our parliament consists of MPs and ministers who consume narcotic substances. Among the MPs who have been accused of using cocaine, a majority represent the Flowerbud Party. Our party only has a few MPs. I am not aware and do not have sufficient information regarding MPs from the TNA, JVP or the Pivithuru Helorumea. There are 2 MPs from MP Vimal Veeravansa's party, more than 10 MPs representing the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, and there are about 3 or 4 MPs from the UNP as well.
ඔප්පු වුණොත් එහෙම ඔබතුමා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මොනවද?
ගරු කතානායකතුමාට මේක කරන්න බෑනේ.
The Speaker cannot act in this regard as he is not a doctor nor officer from the CID. I have explained my story to the committee. A committee cannot take a decision regarding this matter. Either a doctor, the CID or an investigation officer must look into this. Assault, harassment, loss of political seats, ministerial portfolios and state ministerial positions must be expected. I do not agree with the change of political representation. However, I might act independently.
මම එහෙම වුණොත් මම ස්වාධීන වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
Subsequently, State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake visited a private hospital this evening to obtain a blood test.
අනිත් අයත් මේ වගේ
It is good if all politicians take a blood test on a voluntary basis. We can then identify those who confirm such accusations.
නිසා රුදුරුන වන්නේ කියලා.
රංජන් රාමනායක ඇමතුමා කියලා තියෙනවා.
Minister Ranjan Ramanayake has said that out of the MPs who were identified as cocaine users, only 6 of them are from the government. There is no one from the JVP, no one from the TNA. All of them are from the board tour and the UPFA. Honorable Speaker, I make one request. If a person who has never witnessed such a thing in a lifetime is portrayed as a drug addict, where is the honor in that? The reports forwarded by the committees appointed by the UNP have never been proved. because the Prime Minister appointed a similar committee for the bond scam incident. Even when the country faced an economic collapse and fraud took place at the central bank, the committee appointed by Ranil Wickremesinghe stated that such a bond scam never took place.
Journalists questioned Minister Harim Fernando today over a statement he made regarding State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake.
I made this statement inside my house during the Parliament group meeting. I told them we should all go and get blood tests. I also told that various statements were being made to media in several places, and that was an issue. All these statements were made when I was inside my house and not in public. In my view, if State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake responds to statements that I made in my house, he is politically immature. I believe MP Ranjan Ramanaike's effort is 5000% excellent. We asked him to prove these allegations to the committee today. However, if he fails to do so, we will take disciplinary action against him, because if politicians continue to make such controversial remarks to media, we will fail as a party someday.
Now, in more political news, a group of southern provincial councillors representing the Podujana Peramuna arrived at the council meeting today amid opposition against the postponing of the provincial council elections.
Our correspondent stated that when the group of MPs arrived at the Southern Provincial Council, its gates had been closed. After gates were opened, the demonstration continued at the Provincial Council premises.
The Elections Commissioner and the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe are passing the buck to each other. We urge Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and his government to hold the provincial council elections as soon as possible and strengthen democracy in our country.
More than 200,000 rupees is spent per day on meetings held at the Southern Provincial Council. The Western Provincial Council, which spends more than 500,000 rupees for meetings per day, was postponed the 6th of March yesterday due to the opposition of an MP and the lack of quorum in the House.
Detectives revealed today the two businessmen abducted from the Ratgama were murdered inside a house in the Akmi Mana. The site was inspected by the Galle Magistrate Court today. Police spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekara said according to the probe, the bodies of the two men had been burnt in the Madagangoda Forest Reserve in Walasmulla.
The officials of the CID were able to reveal the details of this incident within a span of a week. It was revealed through the investigations that they had been assaulted and murdered in a private house. The CID was then able to reveal that the bodies of these two people had been taken to a location to be burnt. That location was a reserve in Madagangoda that falls under the purview of the Walasmulla Police Division. As per the orders of the IGP, the officer in charge of the Special Investigations Unit and the Chief Inspector and 15 other police officers have been transferred out of the Southern Province to the Western Province.
දකුණු පළාතෙන් පිටතට බස්නාහිර පළාතට ස්ථාන මාරු කිරීමටද මේ වන විට කටයුතු කර තිබෙනවා.
The house where the businessmen are suspected to have been murdered was examined by the Galle Magistrate today. On the 23rd of January, two businessmen, Mandula Asela and Rashin Chintaka, were abducted. The house is located close to the Akmi-Managunamulla junction along the Galle-Udugama road, 18 kilometers from the residence of the businessmen. The place of business of the owner of the vehicle seized by the police in connection to the incident is located 900 meters from this house. Police suspect that the two businessmen were murdered at this house and their bodies were taken to a separate location and destroyed. Thereby, a forest reserve in Madagangoda Walasmulla, located 70 kilometers from Akmimana, was inspected. According to our correspondent, bone fragments were discovered from a site that was set on fire inside the reserve. A team including the magistrate of Walasmulla, Surangamuna Singha, specialist of the Fire Investigations Division of the Government Analysts Department, Roshan Fernando, and the Judicial Medical Officer inspected the site. Meanwhile, 2 letters had been sent to the houses of the missing businessmen both yesterday and today. One of the letters contained details on how the 2 businessmen were murdered, the people involved in the murder, and details of the locations. However, there are discrepancies in the location mentioned in the letter and the location inspected today. The Galle magistrate ordered detectives to detain and interrogate Sub-Inspector Viraj Madhusankar, attached to the Southern Province Special Investigations Unit, for a period of 48 hours. He was produced before the Galle Chief Magistrate Harshana Kakuluvela. Earlier, Chief Inspector Nishanta De Silva of the Southern Province SIU was arrested over the incident, and he is currently in remand custody. On the 23rd of January, 2 businessmen, Manjula Asela and Rashin Chintaka, were abducted, and relatives claimed the duo were taken away by armed men dressed in clothing similar to police uniforms. According to the relatives, Galle ASP Satish Gamage had made a statement on the 5th of February claiming the businessmen were in the custody of police. However, on the 14th, he denied that he made such a statement. In an interesting twist, an anonymous letter sent to the families on the 6th of February claimed the men were abducted by a special unit attached to the Southern Province Senior DIG's office. The anonymous letter had alleged that one of the abductees was badly assaulted, leading to his death, and thereafter the second person was killed to ensure the story did not leak out. Investigations into the incident were handed over to the Criminal Investigations Department by the IGP after the letter was made public by Newsfirst. Senior DIG of the Southern Province, Ravi Vijayagunawardena, was transferred to the police headquarters under temporary basis following the abductions. Several policemen have been arrested on suspicion with regard to the case. The relatives of the 2 businessmen had received several anonymous letters. Can it be that there are those among the group who committed this crime who do not approve it?
The next national initiative of WeForce will get underway this Saturday at 9 a.m. in Mahapalugaswava, Mahava, Kurunegala, with the support of the Sri Lankan Navy. Join the WeForce.
Gammadda WeForce.
Ruwan Vijayawardena was sworn in as a non-cabinet state minister of mass media this evening. He was sworn in at the Presidential Secretariat.
Ruwan Vijayawardena is the grandson of popular businessman D.R. Vijayawardena, who was a giant in the media industry and worked as the editor at institutions such as Lake House. Incidentally, Ruwan Vijayawardena was appointed to this position one day before the 133rd birthday of late D.R. Vijayawardena. Ruwan Vijayawardena began his education at St. Thomas's Preparatory School and received his higher education at the Sussex University in the United Kingdom. He began his career in 1998 with the midweek newspaper named Midweek Mirror. After entering politics upon an invitation extended by Ranil Wickremesinghe, he entered the Western Provincial Council in 2009 and received the highest preferential votes in the opposition. While serving as the chairman of the Youth Front of the United National Party, in 2010, Ruwan Vijayawardena was elected to Parliament from the Gampaha district. He also served as the State Minister of Defence in the government formed after the 2015 presidential election.
A debate between opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa and State Minister Ashok Abeyasinghe took place in Parliament today regarding the Sri Lanka Transport Board.
The present government decided to introduce an early retirement scheme in 2016 with the intention of reducing the number of state employees. However, inaccurate promotions have created an imbalance in the state institutions. According to trade union leaders, more than 5,100 inaccurate promotions have taken place. Those who were employed as drivers, bus conductors and technicians who do not fulfill any of the requirements have been promoted to executive positions on an illegal basis. When employees who are qualified for such positions are removed, the Sri Lanka Transport Board will start to incur losses again.
In 2017, the SLTB earned a profit of 161,080,000. In 2018, we earned a profit as well. During the year 2010 and 2015, EPF and ETF funds worth 2,555 million were not paid. During the period 26 October 2018 and 17 December 2018, attempts were made to remove graduates and qualified employees from their respective positions and halt their promotions. We have no reason to privatize this institution. On the 26th of October 2018, the HR manager at the SLTB head office was removed from his position and replaced with a lady named Tarangini. The CEO was forcefully brought in and all divisional appointments were made afterwards. After Yaha Palana government came into power, we have not provided a single bus free of charge to any political meetings or even the May Day rallies. More than 142.5 million rupees must still be paid to the SLTB due to the buses being taken for previous elections.
Currently, there is a program in place where more than 5,000 employees are being promoted without any exam, test or even an interview. I will present the letters of appointment as proof.
The Potu Jana Perumuna held a large meeting in a state-owned property along with large posters of your wife and MP Gamini Lokuge. The poster said the meeting was to be held under the patronage of former First Lady Shiranti Rajapaksa. This is what you call misuse of public assets. How can you make such statements against the ruling party when this meeting was held just last week?
The Inter-University Students Federation convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
We strongly condemn the attack launched against the students' movement. The attack went far beyond tear gas and water cannons. We were attacked with hot water. They applied grease on the barriers to stop us from breaching it. It did not hurt us, but we were attacked with hot water yesterday. Ranil Wickramasinghe will feel the pain caused by this very soon. Students are enrolled for a special degree at the Management Faculty of the Southeastern University, but the management of the university has accepted that there are no professors for this and there is no physical department. We question as to what happened to the good name of the universities. Although the professors are not there at the Southeastern University, the police are there as usual. The Eastern University has suspended a number of our brothers. There is one thing we would like to say to Ranil Wickramasinghe, who speaks like a father of education, the father of democracy, and the rulers of the country who are trying to appear clean after the elections. The students' movement cannot be eradicated. The rulers of this country have decided to take this program of eradication outside of the university and into the society. When a movement begins demanding for rights, the eradication will begin tomorrow. This program of eradication must be stopped. The university students and the society must be treated justly. If not, this fight will continue and become the next movement that sends the government of Ranil Wickramasinghe home.
The 167th Udagamane of the 77 Yalipipidin Udagamane project was declared open today.
The Manikanagar Udagamane in the Porativu Pattu area in Batiklo was declared open to the public by UNP Deputy Leader Minister Sajith Premadasa today. This village consists of 25 houses. 23.8 million rupees had been spent for the construction of this village. 115 families received a housing loan of 86.2 million rupees. 115 families received housing loans that amounted to 86.2 million rupees. By the end of September, we are going to open 2,500 Udagamana all over the island. As the second step of this project, we are planning to open 5,000 Udagamana by 2020 under this project. In the third step, we are going to open 10,000 Udagamanas. As the fourth step, we are going to open 2,500 Udagamanas in the island. By 2025, we are planning to open 20,000 Udagamana for the civilians.
20,000 මේ රටේ පොදු ජනතාවට 20යි 25 වෙනකොට අපි ජනතාවගේ කකුල් දෙක ළඟට ඇවිල්ලා පොදු ජනතාවට පූජා කරනවායි කියන එක බොහොම සන්තෝෂයෙන් ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා. අද අපේ නිවාස වැඩසටහනේ සහන ලබන සියලුම දෙනා. ඒ වගේම මඩකලපු දිස්ත්‍රික් අස්සක් මුල්ලක් නැහැ. නිවාස ප්‍රශ්නෙන් පීඩා විඳින සෑම පවුලකටම සෑම පුද්ගලයෙකුට අලුත් අනාගත බලාපොරොත්තුවක් අපි ලබා දෙනවා. ඔබලා සියලු දෙනාට තමන්ගේ මේයි ඉඩමක තමන්ගේ මේයි නිවසක ජීවත් වීමේ සිහින සැබෑ කරවීමේ වගකීම රණසිංහ ප්‍රේමදාසගේ පුතා හැටියට සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස බාර ගන්නවයි කියන එක ඔබලාට ප්‍රකාශ කරමු.
With that, we wrap up Prime Time News. I'm Bernadine Jai Singha.
And I'm Shalom Benedict. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and God bless.